Welcome back to the JCPod, partner with Stay On Sports. I'm your host, Jane Chandler Parnell, and are the Timberwolves going to do the impossible? Timberwolves have managed to not get swept. They managed to win Game 4. Now they defend home court as 4.5-point favorites in Game 5 tonight. So, hey, I guess we can't talk about the finals just yet. Damn. So, you know what that means. It's going to be heavy NFL show today. We're going to obviously talk a little bit of the Game 4 matchup for the Mavs Wolves, kind of preview slightly Game 5. And then after that, it's you saw the title. We're going over some way too damn early futures after I talk a little bit of NFL news because I don't think there's much to talk about since I've been on last. So, yeah, it's going to be a quick NFL talk, quick NBA talk, quick NFL talk, and then a somewhat, probably not too quick preview of some NFL futures. So, yeah, without any further ado, like I said, let's talk about the previous game that the Wolves and Mavericks had. Last game, 105-100 victory for the Timberwolves on the road. Pretty much shout out to them for not getting swept. They're defending them cheeks a little bit. Because, Indiana Pacers got them cheeks clapped and swept. The Minnesota Timberwolves, like I said, they defended the cheeks. They didn't get swept. Now we'll see if it's a gentleman's sweep or if it's just a 4-2 win or 4-2 series win. I don't think this will go 7. I don't know if they're going to win tonight, though, honestly. I would have... Because my assumption is, the Mavs are just going to win tonight, close it out. But I don't know. There's a chance I feel like the Wolves, if they can kind of emulate what they did in last game, then they might just have a shot. Because I think the biggest difference in last game between these last few games is Cat. Cat game 1, 16-7 off 6 of 20 shooting. Game 2, 15-7 on 4 of 16 shooting. Game 3, 14-11 on 5 of 18 shooting. And then last game, they've lost all 3 of those games so far. The last game they played, 25 points, 5 rebounds on 9 of 13 shooting. He was 4 for 5 from 3. The rest of the series, 0 for 8, 1 for 5, 2 for 9. He's been just horrendous from 3 in this series. Finally had an amazing game where he went 4 for 5. And I think that ended up being one of the bigger differences. Rudy Gobert at 13 and 10. I don't think he's been as effective in this series as series past. He still had a positive plus-minus, so that's all that matters. Anthony Edwards drops in 29, 10, and 9, 1 assist away from a triple-double at 22? Man, shout out Ant, had an amazing game. I won't lie, didn't watch this game. I assumed that the Mavs would win. If they didn't win, I figured I'd come on and pretty much be talking about similar to what I have so far, is that Cat finally showed up a little bit. And then... he fouled out too. Hilarious. Yeah, that is something I do want to talk about. We'll talk about here in a second. That's pretty. Solid game all around for the Wolves. They 3, 4, 5. They didn't go any deeper than, I think it's 8. So yeah, they didn't go any deeper than 8. And Alexander Walker played 12 minutes. We actually played somewhat decent, but shit, they didn't go too deep on their bench at all. Probably won't be seeing a lot deeper than this for the rest of the series at this point. But yeah, Cat apparently had 6 horrendous, awful fouls, and that's been his biggest issue. I heard there was a lot of fouls at half court, a lot of fouls, just dumb reach-in fouls, just shit like that, a bunch of dumb shit like that. I think this was the epitome of a Cat game. He had a really good game from 3, really good game shooting, and then he fouls out because he has 6 dumb fouls. It's about summed up Karl Anthony Towns. Regardless, though, I can't take anything away from him. 29 points from Ant, 25 from Cat. That gets the job done. You look at the Mavs, P.J. Washington, 3 of 13 shooting. Luka Doncic was 7 for 21, had 28 and 15 points. Kyrie had 16 points. I think the biggest number that you notice is probably P.J. Washington, 41 minutes, 10 points on 3 of 13 shooting. That probably was their biggest killer. Hardy came in and shot 5 of 8. Maxi Kleber is back. He finally, in his return, he played a little bit. And, he didn't... 1 for 3 shooting, didn't really do too much, but it's interesting to see that he's back now, so he's going to be back for the finals. Curious to see if Kristaps Porzingis comes back for the Celtics. I'm assuming he will. But yeah, overall, if you just look at the Celtics game, not Celtics, this Mavericks game, Timberwolves showed up with way more urgency very clearly than that the Mavs had, and even then the Mavs, even after everything I said, only lost by 5, so very curious to see what happens in this next game. Like I said, I really couldn't tell you a side I lean on. Luka dropping 28, 15, and 10, though. I'm very curious to see if they're going to let Luka beat him this next game or if they're going to force somebody else to beat him when it comes to the Timberwolves. But, yeah, I'm very excited for Game 5. Will I watch it? I won't lie to you, probably not. But I'm at least curious, and I'll be like, all right, let's see if we get some dramatics with the Game 6, or if the Mavs are just able to finish business and close out. I would assume they would close business. If I was going to bet this game, I probably would bet the Mavs just because I'd bet them pretty much the rest of the series because I don't think they're going to get swept. But curious to watch and see if the Timberwolves are able to make something happen that we've never seen before in the NBA. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for them. NBA, like I said, there's not much to talk about at all. I mean, the Minnesota Timberwolves, as of right now, are delaying the inevitable. Now, if they win this game, a little bit more to talk about. If they win the next game, then it's like, oh shit, okay, we got a lot to talk about. I think the only sad thing is I don't know if I'm going to be on for Game 7. I think I won't be back on until after Game 7, so they have Timberwolves June 1st and 3rd. So 1st and 3rd, that would be... Yeah, I won't be back. Man, I like that. I doubt this happens, but if it does, that would be pretty hilarious. I would be coming back on after the Wolves come back from 4-3. That would be a lot to talk about. But yeah, like I said, I think the Mavs are going to have to close out the series either this game or next game. I wouldn't be shocked if they didn't do it this game because they're playing on the road and maybe they just save up for Game 6, but we'll see. Obviously, it's going to happen tonight, and we will have our answer at sometime around midnight Eastern. But yeah, like I said, moving on to NFL news. Biggest news of the day so far, I think, the Dolphins signed Jalen Waddle to a 3-year, $84.75 million extension. So $76 million is guaranteed, the rest incentives. So 3 years, $76 million. I mean, pretty solid deal, honestly. I mean, he had his best season last year. Or sorry, was it the year before? I think it was actually the year before. I think he was injured a decent amount last year. Because in 2022, he had, 1,300 yards, 8 touchdowns on 75 catches. That's absolutely wild. 18 yards a catch. Yeesh. I won't lie, though. They're paying a lot of so Miami joins the Bears, Houston, Texans. By the way, I can't believe the Bears on this list. That just shows you how much they've changed now. Bears, Houston Texans, Philadelphia Eagles, and Tampa Bay Buccaneers are the only franchises that has 2 receivers. 2 that are paying. They're paying $20 million each. I guess the receiver's starting to become the second most important position in the NFL, huh? It just seems like it with the money. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know if I like this strategy by Miami to sign Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, and Tua. I obviously understand they kind of have to do it, but I mean, they really don't have to do it. I'd be lying to you if I'm them. I maybe don't pay Tua, but I don't know. The fact that they're paying Tyreek Hill this much money, or that much money, they're paying Jalen Waddle a shit ton of money now. They ain't got nothing for the defense. They didn't pay them. I'm just very weirded out. I'm obviously a defensive-minded person because I play defense, so that's where my first thinking goes. The fact that they let Christian Wilkins, let him walk, but the fact that they're paying that and they let Christian Wilkins walk, that just bothers the living hell out of me because I can't believe they let Christian Wilkins out of the building. Absolutely unbelievable by the Dolphins, but like I said, the NFL's an offensive league now, so I mean, hey, congrats to Jalen Waddle getting his money. I'm not taking away anything from the guy getting the money. He got a bag, but man, it's just interesting to see what the Dolphins are doing. I honestly think at this point they've taken a step backwards, mainly just from losing Christian Wilkins. The fact that they lost him, I think their defense is going to take a major step back. I don't think they have Andrew Van Ginkel coming in next year. I think he's gone too, and he was one of the better players. I'm not very high on this Dolphins team. I was more optimistic for him this year, and then Tua had his weird offensive stuff where he started not playing the best, and then they only scored 7 points against the Chiefs. Shout out my boy Ronan, and I still thought that was going to be a shutout. Glad I bet that 7 points only score. But yeah, I don't know. When it gets cold for the Dolphins, they just don't have a lot of the stuff that when it gets cold, like you need to stop the run and be able to run the ball. I think the Dolphins can run the ball when it's cold. I don't know if they're going to be able to stop that run, though. I'd be lying to you if I was confident in them stopping the run. So this is a list of some of the best players at the free agent positions. We got at quarterback, Ryan Tannehill still out there. You got Kareem Hunt and Dalvin Cook at running back still out there. Michael Thomas, Hunter Renfrow, Logan Thomas that are some of the receiving options. You got David Bakhtiari, Charles Leno, Greg Van Roten at guard, I'm not even trying. Halapavati Baitai, maybe. I apologize for not being able to say the name. That is a mouthful. Like, shit. The Ooses, man. The Ooses and some of these African names, I mean, don't get me wrong, cool-ass names, but without hearing how to say it, that's a mouthful. And then Connor Williams at center, but those are some of the free agents that are still left out there. Very curious to see where some of them sign. I assume most of these names I said are going to get signed. But, man, that Michael, I need to have Rowan. When I have Rowan on, I need to ask him, is like, just give us like a 2-minute, just damn near dialogue of just, what happened to Michael Thomas? Because, god damn, man. He went from being insane with Drew Brees that 1 year to, just since then, it's like just been a weird-ass career for him. He's not even on the Saints anymore. It's just crazy how sports can go like that. You think that somebody's going to be really, really good, and then all of a sudden it's like, I've mentioned this on my show countless times. Todd Gurley. I thought Todd Gurley was going to be the man. And it's just crazy because he ended up being really good for a few years, and then injuries, boom, gone, forgotten about damn near. And he's just going to be one of the many names that played in the league. It's just crazy how that it works in all sports. All sports are the very same way. It's just crazy the separation from the best of the best. Looking at defensively now, you got like Calais Campbell, Lawrence Guy, for sure both those guys are going to sign. Unique Ngakoue, Emmanuel Agba for sure getting signed. Zach Cunningham, Shaquille Leonard. I would argue they're for sure getting. I mean, I think all these guys are going to get signed. Stephon Gilmore, Xavier Howard, Justin Simmons, Deshaun Gibson, Steven Nelson. I think all those guys are getting signed. It's just a matter of when. They're older guys, they're veterans too, so they might want to wait a little bit longer, wait till after training camp, wait to see what injuries happen where. Hell, some of them might even sign in the middle of the season to a contender. Regardless, so I think all those names I list off, especially defensively, I think defensively, easily, all those guys are going to get signed, no questions asked. There's a few guys on offense I could see maybe not, but I think they're even going to get signed anywhere, because depth is going to be a big issue coming in the middle of the season, especially as of late, where it seems like every year more and more injuries stack up. So, yeah, I mean, you can never have enough depth as of late. Fields' package on offense would strike fear in defense. Is that what Russell Wilson came out and said? So the fact that he's mentioning it, I think pretty much gives us our answer of whether it's going to happen or not. So I would be on the lookout for Justin Field packages. I think a lot of us knew this was probably going to happen anyway, but now it's not very shocking that, it's going to be happening now. Especially if you already got Russell Wilson saying it. T. Higgins would love to stay with the Bengals amid stalled negotiations. Playing both sides of the coin. I respect it. I'm very curious to see what happens to Higgins. I don't know if they're going to pay him, man. I'm not going to lie. Because they got to pay Joe Burrow, which I think they already did, but they're going to have to re-up him soon. They're already fighting Trey Hendrickson. They got Jamar Chase coming up. I mean, they already let Joe Mixon's already gone and Tyler Boyd's already gone. So, man, I would feel like they have to pay these guys, but I don't know. It's starting to get to that time where it's like, well, are they going to do it? Josh Jacobs texted Devontae Adams about returning to the Packers. He said, when I came up here, I said in the little eyes emoji, he said, do you think about coming back? But man, I said, he loved the message. I'm very curious to see if Devontae Adams is interested in returning to the Packers. It's just crazy what's happened with his career as well. Because Devontae Adams, I mean, he went from having Aaron Rodgers and being one of the best names in football to, I'm not going to say he's gotten forgotten about, but I would definitely say there's some people who might be like, is Devontae Adams really that good? Which is great to think about Devontae Adams. That's getting to that point in his career. It just shows what happens when a lot of, just what happens when you risk, like, the payday for moving your career. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not blaming him for wanting to move to the Raiders or vice versa. That Raiders situation just imploded the second he got there. That shit just pretty much, it was on Nuke Watch anyway, and then the second he goes there, kind of just implodes. He wants to play with Carr. Carr's immediately pretty much benched and gone. And then he just gets stuck in a shit situation pretty much. Which, I mean, hey, he at least got paid, so he gets some benefit to it. But yeah, man, it's tough for him, and it's just crazy, man. We just talked about it literally a few seconds ago, how careers can change and everything. This is one of those that's just insane. This is something semi-serious. Isaiah Buggs released an animal cruelty case. Apparently, Buggs was booked and released with a $600 bond, according to documents. There was received a report that 2 dogs were being left on the back porch after being rented by Buggs. They were left in the back porch with no access to food or water. Both dogs appeared to be malnourished and neglected, and the residence appeared to be abandoned. Apparently, that Bugs has recently moved from the house, and both dogs receives. So this is what comes from. So apparently, Bugs' agent Trey Robinson came out then and said that his client is a victim of an ongoing subversive campaign to force the closure of the hookah lounge he owns. Okay, so I'm interested. Under no circumstances does Mr. Bugs condone the mistreatment of any animal. Dogs at the issue did not belong to him, and he was unaware they remained at the property in question. I'm not going to assume too much, but this is a really, really shit situation to be in, especially, I'm a big animal lover, so immediately I read it like, oh, so this guy's an asshole, huh? And then you read a little bit more into it, it's like, oh, maybe he didn't know, maybe, especially with these guys that have a shit ton of money, might have multiple places, I mean, they might generally just not know. You never know, too, those dogs being malnourished, they could have been, somebody could have dropped them off, the dog should have ran up to his house. Regardless, though, he's at least, I think, he's been arrested, and it sounds like he's been released. I don't know if there's going to be any more of this, but it's going to be something interesting to keep an eye on, because he was a big part of the Lions last year. I mean, he was big. I mean, everyone who's a Lions fan absolutely loved this dude. He was a huge part of their defensive line, big part of the rotation. So, yeah, I'm just curious to see if there's anything more that's going to come from it. I don't think so, but I at least just wanted to bring it up because, yeah, that caught my eye off guard. I'm glad I actually read it and cleared it up because I immediately read that. It's like, oh, so this guy doesn't like animals, huh? Darius Slayton has incentive added to his contract for the season, and he's been added back to the Giants. Good luck. I ain't gonna lie. We might talk about this slightly in the future section. I have a 4-leg overs and under parlay that I took for fun. That it's a fun. I think like $15-$20 win like $400 if it hits. I don't expect it to hit. I think there's obviously gonna be one leg that's gonna screw me over. So I plan on taking all those singles. So when I eventually talk about that, the Giants are actually a team I am gonna talk about taking their under because I don't think they're gonna have a good season this year. I'll not be shocked if we pretty much get like almost clean house situation. Saquon's already gone. I think that's going to be the start of it. I will not be shocked if they have a bad season if Brian Daboll gone. Malik Neighbors probably going to be the only one left in that building when it gets to that point. Him and then probably the defense. I love the defensive line for the Giants, but I don't like anything else in their team. Burning my heart to show what I'm capable of with the Saints is what Carr says. I'm going to have to ask my boy Ron what he thinks about that. I won't lie. I'm kind of at the point now where it's like we know what to expect from Derek Carr. He's an average to above average quarterback who's going to put up decent stats some games. Other games he's going to put up shit stats, and they're going to be about a 500 team that maybe wins 1 or 2 games above 500. I genuinely it's to that point now where it's like, I'm not going to say he's an ass quarterback, but he's not like, I would argue, like, if there's 32 starting quarterbacks in the league, he's probably around the 16, 17, 18 range. Like, he's definitely, I would say, a guy you wouldn't... He's not a guy you would hate to have, but he's definitely a guy, like... You wouldn't be content with him. That's the best way to put it. Like, if you had Derek Carr on your team, you'd probably be like, okay, so we got a decent quarterback. Like, I would argue I'd almost rather Gardner Minshew over him, and even though I think the Saints would be Gardner Minshew, it's one of those situations, like, when you get to that point, when you're, like, talking like that, I think that kind of tells you about... all you need to know, not only in my opinions of him, but I'm sure a lot of other people feel very similar. I mean, shit. We'll talk about it when I have my boy Rowan on either next week or week after for the WNBA. I'll ask him how he feels about Derek Carr and the Saints, and that will tell you all you need to know because I think he feels how a lot of New Orleans Saints fans feels, and they are not a fan of Derek. Commanders co-owner says the team name won't change for now. I'm curious to see if it will be changing in the future. Obviously, I think it will, but... The potential for another name change became a point of conversation. Yep, Magic John. And I think it's going to change. I just don't know when. I don't think it's going to change. I don't know when, and I'm very curious if it changes back. I'd be kind of shocked if it changed back to the Redskins, but at the same time, I wouldn't be. It just sucks because it's like, I'm kind of a white dude saying this. So it's like, I personally didn't see anything like too wrong with Redskins. I think even the person it was like named after, I think, like came out and said like it's perfectly fine. I think they just made a whole lot of something about nothing. I mean, similar to the Cleveland Gardens situation, because we saw the Indianapolis Indians. It's just one of those things that I don't know if they're going to go back to the name, but I think you're paying homage to a team. I don't think it would be the worst thing, but like I said, I think it's going to change. I doubt it goes back. I don't know if the Commanders is going to stick. It just feels like ever since they changed the name, there's the Washington football team, Commanders isn't bad, but I feel like they could definitely have something better. 49ers signed Juwan Jennings through extension through 2025. The Niners gave him a $4.89 million restricted free agent tender in March before signing him to a 2-year deal on Wednesday that will be worth up to $15.4 million. So shout out to Juwan Jennings for getting paid. Oh, so they posted this thing twice. That's what messed me up. Oh, man, now they just scrolled me back to the top. Okay. Sorry, I had all my stuff listed here and I kind of messed it up. Calvin Ridley has come out and said that Trey Burks is a stud like Julio, A.J. Brown, and Terrell Owens. Okay. I'm interested to see how that works out. I don't know if I necessarily agree, but it's good to hear that the teammates have confidence in him, especially because it's been a weird start to the career for Trey Burks. So hopefully maybe this is the year where he finally shows out with Will Levis. Because, I mean, he has a decent wide receiver room around him. Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, there's a chance for him to not get as much coverage so he can make a name for himself. Tariq Cohen signs with the Jets. I'm curious to see what this... I don't know what this move is necessarily going to be. He was really, really good when he's healthy. So I'm curious to see how he's going to... Maybe he's going to be in the kick return game because that kick... From everything I'm hearing, this new kick return rule is going to be massive and be like a revolutionary change to football. So I'm curious to see if he's a part of that. And they're going to add him to that, or if he's actually going to be genuine running back depth for them. So we finally got an answer from Stetson Bennett. He said he stepped away last year to address his mental health. Bennett said Tuesday he feels recharged and ready to play again. The two-time national champion at University of Georgia is participating in the Rams' off-season activities. After winning the national title, he went fourth last year. He went to the fourth round last year to the Rams, and he didn't play at all. He left before the regular season even began. He didn't return. He said, I was at home. As far as what's led to that, what transpired and all that, I think we're going to keep that in-house. But it was good. I went back home. Thank goodness. General manager Les Snead and Coach McVay allowed me to do that. Sounds like the dude just, I won't lie, I don't know if it's like the pressure getting to him, if it was like a lot. Sounds like there was just a lot that got to him and he pretty much like wasn't going to be the best version of himself. And having Matt Stafford, I don't think they were too worried about. Obviously, with his injury history, they should have been slightly a bit worried, and I'm sure they were, but I'm sure there's like, hey, we don't need this guy to play right now anyway, so if we really think he's going to be a long-term answer potentially in the future, just let him step away for a year. Let him get everything mentally. I mean, Anthony Richardson had a chance to do this with his shoulder injury. Take a year away, just kind of soak it in the NFL. Hey, I'm in the NFL in life now, this is this, and just like, take a year to pretty much just get mentally ready. And now, like I said, he's recharged, like ready to come back and be like, all right, let's do this. I don't see anything wrong with that, especially like I said, if they want to keep him in the future. And I think I might do it for today. Nico Collins signs a 3-year extension for $24 million per season. 3-year extension worth approximately $24 million per season. Woo! Base value is $72.7 million, worth up to $75, which includes $52 guaranteed. Damn. Okay, Nico. Nico got paid. He well deserved for how good he was. Honestly, you know, for how well he played last year and how good he was with CJ, I think that's definitely well deserved, for sure. Yeah, that's gonna do it though for that portion. So yeah, we're pretty much gonna end the show with the way too early NFL futures. So how this is going to work, because there's a shit ton of categories, I don't know if I'm going to do it every Thursday, or, because there's so much to bet on, I'm probably going to break this up into, like I said, there's a few things that, there's a lot to go through, so I'm kind of debating. I don't know how exactly I'm going to break it up totally. I don't know if it's going to be like 2 or 3 episodes, but yeah, it's for sure going to be at least like, at least probably 2 for sure. I would say close to maybe 3 to 4 just because of how many areas there are. But yeah, because for example, so we got the Super Bowl, which we can. So there's Super Bowl, passing props, receiving props, rookies, conferences, divisions, season awards, win totals, playoffs, undefeated win the season. So there's 11, 12, 13. There's about 13 or so categories. So I'll probably do 4 each week, and probably leave it about at that. Because, like I said, some of them are going to be longer than others, too, so I might have to mix and match. We'll have to see. Yeah, sorry about that. I was getting a text in the middle. So, yeah, I would, like, for example, we're going to have to come back to this anyway because it's not going to be fully updated. They're going to add more as we go. So, we're going to do Super Bowl. Way too early for that. I would say it's way too early to even look at Super Bowl passing props, receiving props, or rookies. We'll wait for... Sorry. Now we should go. So, yeah, I think today, so what we'll do is we'll do rookies. We'll go over the rookies. We'll go over rookies, conferences. We'll do rookies, conferences, season awards. And what was the last one I saw that I really wanted? Maybe... And then we'll do player specials because there's not too many open. So, rookie. So, for this week, there we go. So, yeah, we're going to go over the rookies, conference. What did I say? The conference. We'll go rookies, conferences, the season awards, and then player specials. And now that's pretty much what we'll end today with. This is just a quick little run through it. See if they have anything out yet that is looking super juicy. And this is all on... Danfool. I think if you can, if you switch 2 letters around, I think you'll be able to figure out what sportsbook I'm using. I'm using Danfool. No free sponsors just yet. So yeah, we'll look at Danfool just because I'm assuming that they have the most options up. So, rookies. Let's look at our rookies. So, offensive rookie of the year. Juicy has odds. I'm assuming, if we're being honest, it's probably going to end up going to a quarterback unless they get hurt. So I'm assuming Jaden Daniels at plus 600, maybe not bad, but there's a chance he gets hurt. Just because I'm scared of his weight and everything. So Caleb Williams plus 155. Sorry, I'm about to say 1,500. I was reading the wrong name. Yeah, Caleb Williams plus 155 is the favorite. Jaden Daniels right behind plus 600. Marvin Harrison Jr. plus 700. J.J. McCarthy at plus 1,000. Malik Neighbors plus 1,400. Looking through this list, I don't know how much Drake May is going to play. I don't think it's going to go to any offensive linemen. So the fact they even have offensive linemen odds up is hilarious. Frank Gore Jr. at, I think is that 200 to 1 on the Bills? That'll be an interesting one. Yeah, 10 to win 2,000. I don't think I'm gonna go that juicy yet, but that'd be something I'm gonna be interested in looking at. I'm assuming it's going to either be wide receiver, running back. Let's be honest. It's probably going to be wide receiver, running back, or quarterback. Most likely, I would say even quarterback. Damn near. Because, I don't think it's going to be Johnny Wilson. I don't think... There's a few names on here. I just don't even think it's worth betting at all. Audric Estime, I would love to bet on my boy from Notre Dame, but I think that might not be worth it. Xavier Legette at 75 to 1 might not be too bad. That's probably about where I'm going to stop. It's the Jalen Polk... Xavier Legette. Xavier Legette, I have my eye on. He's a guy I'm looking at. Penix Jr., I don't think is going to get the right playing time. Ricky Pearsall is going to be another good one if he fits how they think they should. Adonai Mitchell, I'm excited to see how he's going to be with Anthony Richardson. I'll probably bet on that one personally for myself for fun because, 10 to win 500 on my boy. I would do that. Am I not logged in? Oh. Yeah, so that might be something I'm looking at to do. We'll see. I don't know if I'm going to bet Adonai Mitchell, but he does sound like he has some ish he wants to prove. So Adonai Mitchell might not be a bad play for his odds. Like I said, I think it's realistically going to be a quarterback award. So I'm taking all these wide receivers and looking at these names, knowing realistically that it's probably going to be either Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, or J.J. McCarthy. Realistically, Xavier Worthy at plus 2,000, I think will be a really good one to keep an eye on as well. I think having Mahomes. Ooh, I got bonus bet money I might use. Yeah, Xavier Worthy at plus 2,000 is one I'm going to be looking at. So let's see. We got Mitchell. So yeah, Xavier Worthy, Adonai Mitchell are the two names I'm looking at for wide receiver. One of them, obviously, I think you could tell is pretty biased. And then past that, Marvin Harrison Jr. 7 to 1. I think Kyler. I don't think it's gonna be his fault. I think it'll be more of a Kyler issue than a him issue. And Caleb Williams at plus 155 isn't even worth it. I don't care even if he wins at plus 155. That's not enough juice for me for this award this damn early. So if I'm gonna place some names on this way too early, it's going to be Adonai Mitchell or Xavier Worthy. I have not placed either of these yet, but those are going to be two names I keep an eye on and see how the odds shake up and everything Because the biggest thing about these awards, too, is injuries in the offseason could change up a lot. So I might be looking to take those within the next week or two, but I'm not gonna throw anything super serious on it, especially because the odds at worst I'm gonna throw like maybe 15 to 20 bucks. But I'm looking most of these futures that are like super long shots. I'm only gonna throw like 10 to 15 on. I'm not trying to lose a shit ton of money just on long shot futures. I just want to be able to put like 10, because like for example, if the Adonai Mitchell one hits, it's 10 to win 500. That covers 50 of my $10 future bets, and that's kind of what I'm looking for when it comes to this. Obviously, some of the bigger futures like the minus 130s, the minus 120s, minus 110s, I'm going to throw about 50 on when we get to that point in the season. But yeah, that's for right now with some of these long shots. I'm going to keep the amount down and look for some juicy boys. Defensive player, rookie of the year. Latu. I can't wait to talk about Latu. Plus 500. It's Dallas Turner's the leader at plus 430, and it's Latu at plus 500. I am pretty biased about this one. I think that he has a really, really good shot. Colts got the best player in the draft as long as he can stay healthy. Jared Verse, Quinion Mitchell, Terran Honor, those two few names behind him, Brian Murphy. I'm not going to lie to you. For me, this award ends pretty abruptly. I think it's... I don't know if they're going to necessarily give it to Cormer. I feel like edge rusher... I'm just trying to think of this award as how the markets have been lately. Like, for example, MVP, quarterback. A lot of the offensive players... And then the offensive player of the years will go to like the running backs, wide receivers. These rookie of the years awards kind of different because obviously they might have defensive lineman of the year, corner of the year, stuff like that. But this is for like the whole thing, so this kind of makes it slightly different. Like the MVP, it's going to a quarterback. Like the NFL MVP at this point is going to a quarterback. Offensive player of the year is probably going to go to the running back or wide receiver that should have won the MVP. That's been the trend as of late. I don't know necessarily what the trend is when it comes to the rookie years. I'm sure if you look back for the offense, it's been a lot of quarterbacks who played pretty well lately, and then or a skill position. So I'm assuming with the defensive rookie of the year, I'm going to be looking for rushers and pass rushers for sure. So I'm going to show my rookie knowledge here. I'm being stupid. I can't think of Jared Verse. I'm pretty sure Verse is the guy I'm thinking of. Yeah, like Jared Verse at 12-1 is probably not another bad one as well. But yeah, so I'm going to keep my eye on the pass rushers for the defensive rookie of the year part. I am probably going to bet Latu at plus 500. That's one where I'm a little bit more of like, I won't even lie to you. I might use my $25 bonus bet. Might use on a shit right now. 10 to win 50 if you do the $10 bet. Like I might throw a good amount on that, just not only because he's a Colts player. I genuinely think he has a decent chance. I can't believe he dropped to the Colts. So I'm very excited, very, very excited. I just also don't know how much they're gonna. I'm pretty sure he should start right away. So I think that's gonna be. I think I like that. Most regular season passing yards for rookies. I think it should be Caleb Williams. JJ McCarthy. I think Jaden Daniels is going to do a lot of running. Bo Nix, I don't know how much playing time he's going to get. Drake May, no idea how much playing time he's going to get. Same with Michael Penix. So realistically, I think this board is between three people. Caleb Williams, JJ McCarthy, and Jaden Daniels. Looking at the market prices, plus 320 for Jaden Daniels, plus 320 for JJ McCarthy, plus 110 for Caleb Williams. I'm betting, I think it's Caleb Williams or JJ for me. I don't think I'm going to touch Jaden Daniels, so I'm probably going to burn. He's going to be the one that wins. But yeah, I'm not going to bet one here just yet, but if I did, it would be JJ or Caleb Williams. Rookie receiving yards, Xavier Worthy at 12-1 is one I'm very, very interested in. I was actually right down Worthy. Just mainly because, too, I don't know what's going on with this Rashee Rice situation. Worthy at plus 1,200. Sorry, I got running out of room on my sheet. But yeah, Marvin Harrison Jr. plus 160, or plus 150, probably not a bad one. Malik Neighbors plus 480, Ladd McConkey at plus 700. I think the Chargers are actually going to run the ball a decent amount. So I don't know I just don't know if I fully trust him yet. So I would say Malik Neighbors might not be a bad one. I don't trust the quarterback for Malik Neighbors. I don't trust the quarterback for Marvin Harrison Jr. Ladd McConkey, I do trust the quarterback. I don't know what the offense is going to look like yet with the new with Harbaugh being there, so that holds me away. Keon Coleman, that one I would be a little bit more interested in as well, so I'm actually going to put him down as well on the list to keep an eye on. Keon, and I'll give all these out at the end, by the way, of the ones I'm thinking about. So Keon at, what is he, plus 850? I think he has a legit shot. I think he has a shot. But yeah, that's probably about where I go for that list. I don't think I'm going to go to Roma Dunze. But at 12-1, I don't think he's a bad option either. And then if you go any deeper than that, I just don't trust the quarterbacks. So when it comes to like me relying on the person to throw them the ball, Josh Allen, the Keon Coleman, Patrick Mahomes, and Xavier Worthy. And, I mean, I'm not going to say Caleb Williams to Roma Dunze. I don't think so. And then Adonai Mitchell at 35-1. That might be the Colts fan in me. But I do trust those quarterbacks. I'm not going to get into the over-under for the passing yards for the quarterbacks yet. I'm going to stop with those markets because, yeah, we'll look at the over-unders for receiver yards in the futures once we learn a little bit more about the rookies' roles. Because, yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to bet on Caleb Williams to have over, or J.J. McCarthy to have over 2,800 passing yards when I don't even know what his role in the offense is going to be yet. So we're going to hold off a little bit on that. So that does it for the rookies. When we look for the conference winners, motherfucker. I accidentally closed out. Conference winners, Chiefs at plus 370. I think that's pretty obvious. You got Ravens at plus 490, Bengals at plus 700. You got my Colts at plus 25-1. If I had to pick a team, I obviously think the Chiefs at plus 370 is some good value. I'm gonna have futures on the Chiefs all year again, just in case of the three-peat, because I want to be on the right side of history in case my homeboy does. I won't lie to you. My homeboy's made me a lot of money in the Super Bowl the last 2 years. I'm going to see if he can do it a third time. So I probably will end up taking the Chiefs at plus 370. Ravens at plus 490. I don't think it's too bad. Bengals at plus 700. Pretty good value, especially if you think Joe Burrow's going to do what he did before he got on the run they made to the Super Bowl. Plus 700 is some great value. At 12-1, I don't like the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins ought to be a little bit bigger just because defensively I don't think they're going to be that good. Houston Texans 8-1, not bad. And then the Jets at 13-1. That's about where I'm going to stop. If Aaron Rodgers can stay healthy, I think he has one of the best defenses he will ever have. And so if I had to go to the AFC conference, so AFC we will go Jets at 13-1, and these are in reverse order of what I probably will bet them in. So we'll do Jets 13-1. I'm not going to give out the Colts because that's biased to me. Bengals at 7-1. I don't know if I'm going to take this. I'm going to keep my eye on it. And then we got the Chiefs at plus 370. Those are the three teams I'm going to be keeping my eye on. Let me try that. Those are going to be the three teams I try to keep my eye on to see if they get it done. Going to the West, 49ers plus 250. Lions plus 600. I mean, 49ers are an obvious one. I will write them down. Even though it's really hard to repeat, I will write them down. I don't know, though. They're on the list right now, but there's a chance that they are gone. So this is for the conference championship games. So we got the 49ers plus 250, Lions plus 600, Dallas Cowboys plus 650. Nope. Eagles. I might stay away from the NFC. I really genuinely don't have a clue in the NFC. I think the Lions have a legitimate shot. I don't think the Cowboys will. I think the Eagles might have a shot. Packers, I could see them having a shot. Falcons, not really. Rams, I don't know. And then any team under the Rams, like Bears, no. Bucks, kind of yes. Seattle, meh. See, I don't really have any two teams. I guess like the 49ers. Lions at plus 600 aren't terrible odds. These are both question marks. I don't even know if I'm going to take anything. Eagles, Packers, I guess would be the only other other teams. So yeah, that does it for conferences. So AFC, I think it's going to be Jets, Bengals, or Chiefs. Those are going to be the three teams I'm probably, as of right now, this moment, right now in time, those are going to be the three teams I'm looking forward to. Chiefs are for sure a lot going to stay. Don't know about the other two. For the West, 49ers, maybe, Lions, Eagles, Packers, I don't know. I really don't have a feel for the West. Their NFC as of right now, I have zero feel. So yeah, I'm just going to leave it there. To be the number one seed, not even going to get to that today. So I think what we said, season awards. We already went over rookie of the year. We already went over rookies of the year, so that kind of does that. Offensive player of the year. Saquon is going to be an interesting choice with the Eagles. I'm just curious how much they use him. Yeah, I'm not going to go through this too much yet either because injuries is a big part of it. Because, I mean, literally half these guys on the list, Coach of the year, you can get pretty much anyone at 10-1 odds. I will talk about this part of it. So, Coach of the Year. I won't lie to you. Jim Harbaugh at 14-1, I think is a good one. I think Shane Steichen will be another good name once I get to him. So, yeah, Harbaugh plus 1,400, I like that. Raheem Morris at a plus 1,000, probably not a bad one. Eberflus won't be a bad option either. I don't think D'Amico Ryans or Jonathan Gannon are going to get it. I do like Ryans a lot. Gannon, I also don't mind at all, but I just don't know if they're going to get that. Harbaugh and Steichen are both 14-1, so I'm going to look for... I really think Shane Steichen has a chance at this award because I genuinely think the Colts are going to be really good next year. Really, really young core. Brought back a lot of the defense that played solid next year. That Gus Bradley, it hurts. I don't know if I'm a big fan of him or not still. Yeah. Coach of the Year, that's kind of my thoughts early on Coach of the Year. We're obviously going to do a way bigger deep dive of this as the season goes on. We talked about Defensive Rookie of the Year, talked about Coach of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year we'll talk about later. And so what I said I was going to do with Player Specials, yep. Player Specials, I got some Kirk Cousins specials. Kirk Cousins, nope. I'm just going to ignore that one. Kirk Cousins to throw for 4,000 yards, 30 passing touchdowns at plus 150. I think it's actually pretty tempting. Either one of those two would be the only two I would take if I was going to take something. We talked about Saquon last week. I missed one. Saquon to score... Saquon Barkley, the NFL regular season rushing touchdowns is 20 plus 2,100. I just sucks because I think Jalen Hurts is going to vulture a good amount of them. But Saquon Barkley to score 3 plus regular season touchdowns against the Giants is plus 15 or plus 500. Saquon to score 4 regular season touchdowns against the Giants is plus 1,700. I'm going to be heavy on both of those. I already got 20 on the plus 1,700. Probably throw another 20 here in the future. I'm going to throw probably about a good 40 on Saquon. I think Saquon's going to score 4 touchdowns against the Giants easy. Their defensive line is going to be very, very tough for the Giants, so that does worry me a bit. But Saquon's going to be petty. This is one I feel really, really, really good about. I love the odds on it as well. As long as he stays healthy, I think he has a realistic shot of doing it. Him to have 10 regular season rushing touchdowns at plus 240, that's something I might be looking at in the future as well. So we'll... what I say for Saquon? Saquon, we said 3 plus and 4 plus TDs against the Giants. We said that against the Giants. Him to score 10 regular season touchdowns. Or was it 8? I think it might have even been 8. No. Okay, it's 10. Yeah, we'll keep that on the list because I think he hit it last year. We might see if he does it again for us. So that's it for Saquon. There's one more we can look at. It's Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry scored 10 regular season rushing touchdowns minus 135. 12 regular season touchdowns is plus 180. I think the 10's for sure going to hit, so I might be taking that. And I probably will take the 12 too, to be honest. Henry, 10, and yeah, I think generally he will hit both of that. So we already got a list growing a little bit. But yeah, I think generally he's going to have a pretty good season with the Ravens. Him and Lamar in the backfield is going to be absolutely disgusting. I can't wait to watch that. But that's going to do it for the week, I think. Before I close it out, let me give back out the stuff. So these, I've only placed the Saquon plus 1,700 for him to score 4 touchdowns against the Giants. However, and I placed the Colts to win the Super Bowl, but we don't need to talk about that. The rest of these, I'm going to be keeping my eye on, and I will be probably placing within the next month or two. We got Adonai Mitchell or Xavier Worthy for Offensive Rookie of the Year. One of those is pretty biased. We got Laiatu Latu for Defensive Rookie of the Year, plus 500. Most yards for a rookie, we got Xavier Worthy at plus 1,200. Keon Coleman at plus 850. Love the quarterback situation for both of those guys. Those are going to be two I keep a big eye on. For the AFC, to win the conference, Jets at 13-1, Bengals at 7-1. And then you got the Chiefs at plus 370. Those are the 3 teams as of this moment in time right now, I think are going to move on. For the NFC, I got 49ers, Lions, Eagles, and Packers, just so I can kind of keep 3 to 4 teams. But I have zero confidence in any of those, so I'm going to need a little bit more offseason to sit on that. Coach of the Year, Shane Steichen at 14-1, Harbaugh at 14-1. Especially Harbaugh's going to, I think, has one of the best chances, because if he just flips, they only won like 5 games, I think, last year. If he can win almost 10 to 11 games from them, that's almost, I'd say, makes it even easier. So, yeah, Harbaugh 14-1, Shane Steichen at 14-1. Those are going to be 2 I'm probably going to for sure end up taking at some point. And then to end it, we gave out Saquon to score 10 touchdowns on the season. Saquon to score 3 or 4 touchdowns against the Giants both. I'm going to end up, I have one place. I'm going to end up placing the other here soon. And then Derrick Henry scored 10 and 12 regular season touchdowns. Not placed yet. Going to keep my eye on it. But yeah, that's going to do it for the week. Like I said, my boy Rowan's either going to appear on next, I think Wednesday or the Wednesday after, and we're going to be talking hella WNBA because he's been texting me every night about how the WNBA is popping off, and shit looks great. I'm actually going to end up buying the WNBA League Pass today or tomorrow. I haven't fully decided yet what day I want to buy it, but I can't wait to watch and start stepping into some more of those games. We got Game 5 tonight against Mavs. Game 5 against the Timberwolves. We got WNBA, like I said, popping off. We got some playoff hockey popping off that I'll talk about. Both series are tied 2-2, so I might talk about that to start off the week. But yeah, that's going to do it for today. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for all the support. I really do appreciate it. I will see everyone back in this feed on Tuesday afternoon to go over, just recapping some of the sports, go over some NFL news that happens over the weekend. Also, NFL is potentially announcing games in Paris and I think another place, maybe Dublin. I think Ireland. I can't remember exactly if that's right, but we have that to talk about as well. A lot to be talking about. If you want to check out some sports news for free, check out Stare Down Sports. I'll admit, we've been a little bit of a hiatus with Stare Down Sports, figuring some stuff out. We're about to get back on it. So thank you all for watching. Thank you all for support. Really do appreciate it. I'll see everybody back in this feed on Tuesday for some more ball talk.